One, check it yourself.
Ozzy, I'm good here? Say hello to your sister for me. Alright.
When you're ready, let me know. Your phone indicator.
You're my own.
Yeah.
You make any choice?
Big two, don't you?
Yeah, we'll be happy for them for the spin. We're talking about making a trip. All I want to do is go and drive up the road.
Yeah.
To get a picture of them on the highway.
Right. Money for roundabout could be a good place, you know.
Hey, no,
Like
go
the
by
police station.
go by
Turbo?
Turbo.
Oh gosh, for a long
That's
fly
right.
over. Fly over again.
That's where the business going on by
In Marabella, you know.
by the flyover.
Yeah, all of them start here and all of them finish in the town. It's JTUM, you know. Joint Trade Union Movement. You know, these things are happening to the right thing.
And their leader happens to be the same.
You understand? Yeah. He's on the house, you know. And he's driving there. So you can't stand up in the middle of the road, so.
Okay, cohort, this is just a reminder that we have juice and water, black van.
Yeah, man. Slogan. Nice and fight. You're like a raging bull.
Okay, boss. And you make you out. Lennox.
Lennox what?
Petroleum.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, come round.
Right.
Yeah, man.
You put my name down, right? Take the camera. Present, sir. I went already. What going on here just like a bandit? You just can't differentiate police from thieves from bandits. Eh? Eh? God, I guide, boy. So you are policeman. Alright, okay, I'm glad for you. You doing what? What are you doing? When? You gone over there? And he tell me come here? Go there?
In the future. And so we want to start as we normally do by offering a word of prayer. Now we would have prayer from the three religious denominations. I want to first start by calling to the microphone to lead us in prayer here this morning a comrade from the OWTU, Comrade Blgd. Comrade Blgd.
Namaste. Good morning to each and everyone gathered here this morning. Let us clasp our hands in prayer as we offer these words of guidance in our daily lives and the struggles that we continue to engage in as a trade union throughout Trinidad and Tobago and throughout. Om Siddhi Buddhi Pradadevi Bhukti Mukti Pradayani. Om Shanti Shanti, as you guide us in these times of uncertainties that exist. As you continue to be with us, we ask of you to continue to show us that path that will deliver the results that we are looking for on behalf of workers of Trinidad and Tobago. Om Shanti, Shanti, Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Blgd. And let me remind comrades that we want to not have any converging. We want to maintain the strict protocol and the guidelines of the Ministry of Health. And so we want to maintain our social distancing throughout this entire procedure today, starting now. And let me immediately, following Comrade Blgd, call to the microphone representing the Christian faith, Sister Ermin Debik from the Contractor and General Workers Trade Union.
Thank you, Comrade Roger. Good morning to all my comrades here this morning. I call in the name of our Father, Jehovah, through your Son, Jesus Christ. Father, we ask for your protection as we leave Paramount building to journey to Queen's Park, Savannah. Father Jehovah, through your Son, Jesus Christ, I ask you to bless all the leaders present here this morning and all those who are on their way. Father Lord, I want the comrades here who representing the various trade unions to remember at all times that the trade union is as strong as its members. You got to support your leaders. And as we journey to Port of Spain, I want us to remember that today is the day that the Lord has made. He has given all of us strength to being perpetrated on all the trade unions in Trinidad and Tobago. Father, I ask of you to bless us, to strengthen us, to deal with the government and the opposition who is not seeing about the interests of the working class. I ask you to continue to bless us. We have left our homes and we are journeying to Port of Spain. I ask you to return everyone safely to their homes. I ask this in your precious name, I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much, Sister Blgd, from the Contractor and General Workers Trade Union. I now call to the microphone Comrade representing NATUC from the National Trade Union Center umbrella body, but from the Seamen, Waterfront and Workers Trade Union, Comrade Mujahid, representing the Muslim faith to lead us in Muslim prayer. Comrade.
Comrades, brothers and sisters, I greet you in the most known Islamic quote, Assalamu alaikum. As we gather here to the Almighty Allah, we ask for your guidance and your protection in this motorcade, that we may send a strong message for those who it is intended for. Ya Rab, you know our struggles and our trials, and we ask Almighty Allah that you give us the strength and the patience and the resilience and the fortitude to put up against all those who are against the working class, my Lord. Oh my Lord, as we start our journey here today, you are the first and you are the last. And let this, oh Lord, that every kilometer, every mile that we travel today, that we send a strong message to those in authority, that long live the working class. And we always put God first, whether from whatever religion. But as I close up, I would like to say that let us all unite, whether black or white, whether Muslim or Christian or Hindu, it doesn't matter. We gather here today under one umbrella, and that is of the workers. And when we send our message today, I ask Almighty Lord that it be delivered in a most stern and heavy way, that those in authority will know that the working class is alive and not yet anything else. These things I ask in your name, Almighty Allah. Amen.
Observe the national anthem.
In the voice of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, under the blue Arabian sea, with uplifted hand, we pledge our lives to thee. Every prayer and may God bless our nation. Every prayer and may God bless our nation.
Thank you. Comrades, once again, good morning and welcome. I want to alert you to some of the instructions and guidelines that you ought to observe. But before I do that, I want to give a sense to all of us, of all of the trade unions that are represented here this morning, participating in this national motorcade, under the theme, Unite to Fight. And so the theme Unite to Fight is not was not chosen by guess. It has at the heart of its objective bringing about unity across all of the trade unions in the country. Indeed, also bringing about unity across all of the workers in Trinidad and Tobago. And we say to that, a blow to one, a blow to all. Any worker affected in any part or any sector of our country's economy affects every other worker in every other sector of our economy. And workers under attack anywhere must be responded to by workers coming from everywhere. And therefore, our theme, Unite to Fight, we believe is quite appropriate to deal with all of the issues that confront us. I want to also say that we can spend the entire day, indeed we can spend a week, enlisting all of the problems from the attempt to privatize important state sectors and its natural consequence of sending home workers, putting workers on the breadlines, joining the many thousands of workers who were already sent home, who today are without hope, without a job, displacing families and communities. We can talk about the attack on trade unions. We can talk about the attack on the collective bargaining process, outstanding wage and salary negotiations, the lack of respect for workers, the removal of benefits, the unilateral removal of benefits, no discussion at all, the disregard for the industrial court. And we can also talk about the fact that it seems to us, as we observe, that they believe that this is the time for them to launch their vicious attack under the banner of COVID-19, so that COVID-19 gives the employers, the working class, the government, the opposition, all who are opposed to our interests, the opportunity to take back. So we can talk about all of that, but our theme addresses the response and the solution going forward, because it is not just about talking about what they do, but getting ready for us to do something about it also. And therefore, going forward, we have to put on the table, we have to put before everyone what we will do. And while we pay attention to what they have done and what they continue to do, it is now about what we will do. And in the context of what we are prepared to do, that can only come about with the type of unity that it requires. And it requires a unity, comrade. It requires a type of unity that would see us putting aside our political party affiliation, whatever that is, but holding your union flag, holding your bread and butter flag high and paramount above all else. In other words, what is important, what ought to be important to the worker, is not to be distracted or divided by any foolishness coming from any one of the political parties or so, but to be guided by your union, to be able to defend your cause, to be able to defend your benefits, to be able to defend your livelihood. Absolutely no political party, comrades. None of them, and I can argue that successfully, from now until thy kingdom comes, none of them in opposition or in government would have given you the jobs and the bread and butter and so on that your union stands stoutly in defense of. It is only your union, comrades, your union that stands up for you, stands in your defense. And therefore, all that is requested and required right now is for you to stand firmly, stand resolutely with your union, whatever union you belong to, but to stand resolutely with your union. I also want to say this morning that we had a very successful rally, virtual rally yesterday. And that rally was participated by the three umbrella bodies, union federation in the country. The National Trade Union Center, of course, the Federation of Independent Trade Unions and NGOs, and of course, the Joint Trade Union Movement of Trinidad and Tobago. Very successful, and of course, to the surprise of many, putting out there for everyone to recognize that the trade union movement, in spite of what they believe, the trade union movement is alive and well and prepared to lead this fight. Nobody will do it for you. We have to do it for ourselves. And so this morning, comrades, this morning we would have, prior to today, sought and obtained permission from the Commissioner of Police for this activity. So everything that we are going to do today, we want to maintain the strictness of the law. We want to demonstrate to them, as we normally do, that we are disciplined and that we can conduct our activity in a way that we will convey the message, but at the same time we will be in strict adherence to the law. And in that regard, let me talk about the restrictions that we have. We are in a global pandemic situation, comrades, brought on not by us, but we are victims of that. And therefore what that would have done, it would have restricted normal trade union activities across the globe. But trade unions like us and elsewhere are finding novel and different ways to continue the mobilization process, to continue to link leadership with membership, to be able to do this unity, to be able to continue that battle for justice. And therefore, in spite of the COVID restrictions, we would have sought and obtained permission for this motorcade today, this national motorcade today. And I want to remind all that, one, we are to observe, respond to, adhere to, take instructions from the police who were instructed to be in charge of the route, to clear the way, to ensure that we have a safe travel from San Fernando to Port of Spain. So all of the directions that we will be taking during this route would be taken from the police. And of course, we would have the various trade unions communicated to a communication link so that we can very quickly pass on those instructions should that be necessary. And so, the Ministry of Health guidelines with respect to social distancing, the wearing of the mask at all times, the issue of non-converging and no stopping along the route. We don't want any pit stops along the route. This is for a specific purpose, and a specific purpose it will be. And so, by letter dated, it is important for us to hear that, by letter dated the 30th of December 2020, last year. That's a year that none of us should or could ever forget, 2020. But by letter dated the 30th of December last year, we would have written to, that's JTUM, on behalf of the entire trade union movement, we would have written to the Commissioner of Police seeking permission for this activity today. And we would have, by his response, on January 4th, 2021, we would have received that permission. And let me just read the short response by the Commissioner to JTUM. And it is a letter written to our General Secretary of the JTUM, Mr. Ozzy Warwick, General Secretary of the Joint Trade Union Movement, 85 8th Street, Barataria. Dear Mr. Warwick, Trade Union Motorcade, 16th of January 2021. I refer to your request dated December 30th, 2020 on the subject and inform that permission has been granted for the motorcade carded for Saturday the 16th of January 2021 from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kindly be informed that you are to be guided by the COVID-19 protocols and restrictions stipulated by the Ministry of Health. Further, no participant of the motorcade are to congregate outside of their cars at any point along the route for any reason. And this letter is signed by the Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith. I want to read for you the route that we are going to observe from here in San Fernando to Port of Spain. The route. The motorcade will depart Paramount Building, 99A, Circular Road, head south along the Circular Road, turn left onto Royal Road, turn left at Monrepo Roundabout onto San Fernando Bypass. Continue along the San Fernando Bypass until the South Main Road, Marbella. Until the South Main Road, Marbella, continuing along the Southern Main Road until Shogunas. Turn left onto Ransan Street, turn right onto the Shogunas Main Road. Turn left onto Yard Street, turn right onto Endeavour Road. Turn left back onto Shogunas Main Road and continue north onto the Southern Main Road and continue east along the Southern Main Road. At the second roundabout, turn right and continue north along the Southern Main Road straight through to Curragh. At Curragh Junction, turn left onto the Eastern Main Road, continue west until along the Eastern Main Road onto the South Quay. Turn right onto Rice Road, turn right onto Colville Street, continue north onto Cipriani Boulevard and then to Queen's Park West. Continuing around the Queen's Park, Savannah, Marvel Road, then Queen's Park East, then back to Queen's Park, Savannah, back to Queen's Park West, in the Queen's Park, Savannah, at the car park. There will be no assembly, so vehicles will immediately disperse at the end. And that is the route, and so we will be guided by the police. We will have a short address to the media, giving a very short interview as to what this event is about, and then we will proceed. It will take no longer than 10 minutes, and the media will be addressed by Comrade Joseph Remy, and of course, myself. So, comrades, once again, welcome, and Happy New Year to everybody in spite of everything. And let's have a successful motorcade today as we begin the fight back against gross injustice, fight back against the thousands and thousands of retrenchment, privatization, the disregard and disrespect for poor people, bad governance, bad spending, inflation, and of course, crime and the general sense of insecurity that people feel in the country today. It is only one movement can do it. It is only one movement that stands in defense of the people, the poor, the oppressed, the downtrodden, the disadvantaged. Don't expect the 1% to stand in your defense. It is the trade union movement, of which I'm a proud part of, and of course each and every one of us have our part to play. Thank you very much, comrades. May you now get in your vehicles and get ready for departure. Yeah?
Motorcade is the beginning of an effort by the three trade union federations to form a united front to deal with the major issues that have impacted on the lives of all working class citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We have seen COVID-19 being used deliberately in some instances by those in authority and by the government as an excuse to exploit and undermine the collective bargaining process, the terms and conditions of employment of workers, and by extension, disenfranchised citizens in terms of some of their fundamental rights. And we believe now more than ever, the trade union movement as a responsible social partner, and we want to re-emphasize that. We want to re-emphasize the fact that the trade union movement must be and must remain a critical social partner in any effort of national development. We have seen a lot of efforts to move away the trade union movement from the table of national discussions on critical issues that impact on the lives of citizens, particularly working class people. And we believe we have engaged responsibly in all the efforts, despite all the hurdles we have faced at the National Tripartite Advisory Council. We have demonstrated our level of responsibility to be still sitting at that table because we believe We have a right to be there because we have already emphasized that NTAP, as the acronym displays, is not a government agency. It is a body that has been enshrined under the International Labour Organization, under the issue of social dialogue, and as such we demand our right to be present there, but we also demand our right to disengage if we believe the effort is futile and if we believe it's just a charade. So, moving away from the social dialogue process, we have to go back to first principles. The first principles of the trade union movement is mobilization on the shop floor, organizing, and solidarity. And this is what this effort is today. We are organizing, we are mobilizing, and we are expressing solidarity among the confederations to bring about that fundamental change in the lives of all working class citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. And we believe that this is the beginning of a united effort. And rest assured that the federations will do all that is humanly possible to keep this united front intact. Because what you are seeing happening is that the government, the business class, and they all are coalescing together in their effort to protect their interests at the detriment of the working class interests. And I want to appeal to all working class persons in Trinidad and Tobago, come under the umbrella of the United Trade Union Movement as we take a stand to fight against the issue of unemployment, underemployment, job cuts, retrenchment, privatization. And privatization, we are saying deliberately in the effort to place the interests of the working class and the interests of the country in the hands of the 1%. And again, we demand that they respect the trade union movement, and we are convinced that this effort today is going to see the citizenry of Trinidad and Tobago understanding and coming together with the trade union movement as we move back. COVID, yes, COVID has its issues, it's a global pandemic, but COVID is not the only reason why we are in this economic morass. And as such, the trade union movement is the only vehicle that could bring about that fundamental transformation. So that is the purpose of us being here today.
Started and they had all these things and restrictions. Do you think the industrial relations climate has remained the same or it has worsened?
I think there's some obvious point that since the COVID-19 restriction were implemented to deal with this global pandemic, the industrial relations climate that was bad has worsened 10 times. Therefore, what we are seeing employers taking advantage of the situation to disregard collective agreements and its provisions and so on, terms and conditions, to disregard collective bargaining. There's absolutely no discussion taking place by the majority of employers. And the first thing that you would hear, the first announcement you would hear them make is that because of the COVID situation, they are prepared to send home workers. Today, thousands and thousands of workers are without a job. What does that mean? Thousands and thousands of workers are unable to put food on the table for their families. And when you send one worker home, you impact not only his family, but you impact the community for which he belongs. And therefore we are saying that the thousands and thousands that went home ought not to have been done that way. They are not prepared to bear any burden of sacrifice at all, the employers and the employer class and of course the government. That sacrifice, that yoke of a sacrifice is resting squarely on the shoulders of the workers and the working class. And we are saying today that the time has come for us to respond. Even in the COVID situation, trade unions globally are responding. Indeed, you would have seen recently where Google, the tech giant, their workers would have came together and formed a trade union. Such is the relevance of trade unions. And we like to pander to what is happening globally. Pay attention to that. Google workers themselves, recognizing that there's no other way but to come together in a united force, would have formed a trade union in defense of their own interests. And therefore, we are saying the high unemployment and continue this wanton disregard for collective bargaining, disregard for the judgments of the industrial court, could you believe? People just disregarding that, employers disregarding that, those judgments. And the Employers Association come together and support that disregard. And it is only the working class can make a difference. And therefore, today, is the start of a number of events to highlight not just our cause, but to point to the type of unity that is required for the fight back. It cannot be the leaders alone, it cannot be the workers alone. It has to be not just the leaders and the members, but it has to be all of us in the society who are impacted by what is going on. And this is not right, and we are prepared to stand up and say it is not right.
Some years ago, there was some issues with labor legislation. The drafting of new labor legislation and the think now more than ever, this new legislation is needed to come back with something problem.
That is exactly correct, because we have seen two successive governments with 2 terms of governance disregarding the urgent need for labor legislation reform. And therefore it would have been with the previous government prior to 2015, and I dare say it was with this government in their last term. Absolutely nothing. We would have seen emergency legislation brought to Parliament on all other issues except the working class. And at the end of the day, it is the workers who turn the wheels of the economy. And therefore those are the ones that ought to be placed at the center of the priority. But that is not happening. And you would have seen the importance of workers, the critical importance of workers demonstrated in this COVID period. Without workers in this COVID lockdown period, all of us would not be surviving here today. We would not be alive today. And therefore, if it is that we are so important, we are required to turn the wheels of the economy, why then our issues must be placed on the back burner? And you are hearing indication right now by the Attorney General that he's going to bring legislation, emergency legislation to the Parliament, and that has nothing to do with workers. Could you imagine that? After one term and at the beginning of another term, what they are signaling is that they don't care a damn about workers. What is worse is if workers don't care about themselves, and that is what we are about to change.
Now, the trade union movement has always had some pushback based on rules and regulations. What do you tell people who are currently opposing anything trade unions right now? How do you unite people from across the political divide?
Yeah, well, we just wish to remind Paul and Sando that when you go to the grocery and you go to the cashier does not ask you if you're a PNM or a UNC and give you a discount. Indeed, as prices change from day to day, whether you're a PNM or UNC or whatever, you have to face increased prices and increased inflation. When you go to the hospital, sickness does not attack either UNC or PNM, and therefore the response, the medical response to that, it cannot be on the basis of political allegiance and so on. And may I dare say too, when the bandit comes knocking, breaks down your door, he doesn't ask you your PNM or your UNC, and then proceed. Crime is affecting everybody. My point, all of the issues, unemployment, the sending home of workers, thousands of workers home, it is UNC and PNM. And therefore, the political allegiance provides no protection for anybody under any one of those issues. And therefore, where the protection will come from is workers standing in their own defense, but standing resolutely with their own trade union for their own defense and to defend their interests. We have an interest to protect and defend. Make no bones about that. And that interest is diametrically opposed to the interest that continues to attack it. But we would fearlessly, without favor, and without fear of contradiction, without fear of confrontation, we will continue to do what we have to do in the interest of all. Exactly.
Well, sorry that can't go up a little higher, but it would fly up, you know, yeah.
I'm using it as a shield, you know,
To
from the
block the sun.
sun.
Improvise it.
Yeah, but you turn on your just now when you started like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a rat. You're trapped in a corner. Don't know which way to run or what to plan. You ever see a rat? Yeah. Left. Southern Main Road.
Paul, your mother come. He tell me shoot you. JTUM, all the unions. Seen who? Waiting, boy.
I'm in Motorcade, and I don't have a Bluetooth headset. Well, if you wanted to find out, you would have been here.
Yeah, yeah. Comrade! You see that? 7 days without prayer makes 1 week. You good, eh? Say come, say come. Say come.
Join this Motorcade this morning.
Follow them. See the camera and he say go, go, go.
Comrades in the Motorcade, remember the discipline. Remember to keep your hands and lights on. No overtaking. Remember, this is a disciplined organization, the labor movement. Pleasant day.
See how them tanks rusty in? That's my own.
Yeah, I know.
Keep it now. Yeah. I'm sweating with that on.
It doesn't keep at all.
Yeah, I say that one.
So let it go like fly, you know, because you fly the guy.
No, it's helping me to keep cool now. I have a job trying to hold it all now. Plus the camera. That man here do it. But we get her to stand up so in front. Usually a rasta is in the back. You must see her sleep on the head out. Okay. We had a robbery here a few days ago. Bandits put on a robbery and some people were working for forestry. 3 Indian fellas, one with a gun, one with a cutlass and one with a piece of wood.
Blgd, pay attention to this motorcade that is passing. Pay attention. Yeah?
Bandits take all their cell phones, all their wallets, all their
Blgd, this is the voice of labor. This is the labor movement. We are the salt of Trinidad and Tobago. We are the producers of the wealth of Trinidad and Tobago. And this motorcade that is passing through Point of Pierre here this morning, this motorcade has been organized by the labor movement. Yes, the Joint Trade Union movement, the Federation of Independent Trade Unions, and the National Trade Union Center. This motorcade has been organized by the labor movement of Trinidad and Tobago. And we are saying this morning that this is only the beginning, of the fight back, because we have no choice. We have no choice but to fight. So when you see this motorcade passing here this morning, this motorcade is the beginning of the fight back against exploitation. This motorcade organized by the labor movement is only the beginning of the fight back against retrenchment. This motorcade that has been organized by the labor movement that is now passing through Point of Pierre, this motorcade is a motorcade to continue to put food on the table for our families. The present government is now using COVID-19. Yes, the government is using COVID-19 as an excuse to continue to do us what they want. Yes, so this motorcade is a motorcade that has been organized by the labor movement because we have no choice. We have to fight back or they would send all of us home. Yes, the oppressors, they continue to oppress us. They continue to reduce us to nothing. Yes, we have to fight back. We have to fight back. Residents of Point of Pierre, residents of Pleasant Park, this is the voice of the labor movement. This is the voice of the labor movement. And this motorcade that you are seeing here this morning, we are going to put a stone this morning. We want you to join in solidarity with us this morning. Yes, we We're marching for the preservation of our lives in Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. Yes. Residents of St. Margaret's. Yes. Residents of St. Margaret's, the motorcade that you were seeing passing along the southern main road this morning. Yes, the motorcade that you are seeing this morning is a motorcade that has been organized by the labor movement. Yes, this motorcade is against all of the crimes and all of the ills that we are experiencing in Trinidad and Tobago today. This is only the beginning of the fight back. This is the beginning of the fight back. Today, this is a motorcade that has been organized by the labor movement because we have no choice. We have to fight. Yes, residents of St. Margaret's, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the motorcade that you are seeing passing through your village this morning, we are going to Port of Spain. This motorcade has been organized by all of the labor movement federations. Yes, this is the beginning of the fight back. This is the beginning of the fight back against the exploitation. This is the beginning of the fight back against retrenchment. This is the beginning of the fight back to continue to put food on the table. This is the fight back that must transcend all political parties. We are saying that both the PNM and the UNC, they do not care about poor people. And this motorcade that is heading to Port of Spain this morning, as we come through St. Margaret's and Claxton Bay, we are saying to you that this government has failed, and they have failed miserably. Yes, they have failed. They have deceived us. Yes, this government, they are traitors to the cause. Remember the fight we had against the privatization of cement factory. Remember, we fought PNM to stop them from privatizing cement factory. When the Kid Rowling-led PNM government has handed cement factory over to cement. And today, cement factory workers' jobs are on the breadline. We told you so. We told you so. And this morning is just the beginning of that fight back. This morning is the beginning of that fight back. Yes, to preserve our jobs. It is the beginning of the fight back to keep food on the table. Residents of Claxton Bay, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, this is the voice of labor. This is the voice of the labor movement of Trinidad and Tobago. This is the voice of the Federation of Independent Trade Unions. This is the voice of the National Trade Union Center. This is the voice of the Joint Trade Union Movement. Yeah, this motorcade that you are seeing passing through Claxton Bay this morning, this motorcade has been organized by the labor movement of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, this motorcade is going to Port of Spain this morning. This is the beginning of the fight back. This is the beginning of the fight back to continue to put food on the table. This is the beginning of the fight back to keep a roof over our heads. Today, the government is using COVID-19 as an excuse to send us home from our jobs. The employers are using this COVID-19 as an excuse. Yes, they're using COVID-19 as an excuse to do us what the hell they want to do. And we are saying that the time to fight back is now. And this motorcade that you are seeing passing through Clifton Bay this morning, this motorcade is a motorcade in the interest of the poor people of Trinidad and Tobago. This is our motorcade. Yes, this is our motorcade. And we are going straight to Port of Spain this morning. We want you to pay attention for follow-up action. Yes, we want you to pay attention for follow-up action. Residents of Clifton Bay, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, you must have seen what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. You all know. Yes, you all know. You must admit that you are worried. You must admit that you are concerned about what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. And the motorcade that you are seeing this morning has been organized by the labor movement because we have no choice. We must fight back. We must fight back. It is about time that we stop fighting against each other and fight together against the elites and the employers in this society. The government and the Employers Consultative Association, yes, they have come together and they are using COVID-19 as an excuse to do all what they wanted to do a very, very long time ago. Yes, it's been a very long time in coming, and COVID-19 has given them an excuse to send us home from our jobs. This motorcade is the beginning of the fight back by the labor movement. Yes, we are going to Port of Spain, and when you see this motorcade this morning, as we journey through your village, this motorcade is to send a warning. This motorcade is to call you out to battle. This motorcade is to call you out to the front line. This motorcade is to let you know the time has come. The time has come when you must seek your own self-interest. Yes, in whose interest is the privatization of our MP gas stations? Whose interest is that in? Yes, we must pay attention. We have to pay attention to what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, as your Prime Minister said, mind your own business. It is about time that we begin to mind our own business. It is about time that we prepare ourselves for battle. We have no choice. The motorcade that you are seeing this morning, we are going to Port of Spain. This motorcade has been organized by the labor movement. We say enough is enough. They have done us enough. They are taking advantage of poor people in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, they're telling you they want to pay you minimum wages. They want to pay you less than minimum wages. They're telling you to take it or leave it. They're telling you to go home. Yes, they could get somebody else to do it for less. We are saying that this exploitation must stop. We have to stop it. No one, absolutely no one is going to stop it for us. We have to stop it for ourselves. Residents of Bronze Gardens, pay attention to what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Residents of Bronze Gardens, you are part of this struggle. You must be a part of this struggle. And this is a signal to you this morning to join with the labor movement. Join with us, because there is going to be many more battles to be fought. Pleasant day. much in the motorcade, remember the rules and regulations. Remember we are a disciplined set of people. Remember our discipline is militant. Remember our discipline. Yes, people
Keep it more to the left because I will work it from the right and it push me to the left. So you go left, I can get back to the right side. Good. Go again. Alright, so make a tightness there.
California, Phoenix Park. The motorcade that you're seeing this morning is a motorcade organized by the labor movement. We believe the time has come for us to begin a new stage in this fight back. Yeah, the fight back has now started. Yeah, 2021. You all must know, you all must understand, and you must be concerned about what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago today. Yeah, the motorcade that you are seeing this morning is a motorcade organized by the labor movement. This motorcade has been organized by the Prisons Officers Association of Trinidad and Tobago, the Public Services Association, the Transport and Industrial Workers Union, the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Services Union, the Oilfield Workers Trade Union, the Banking Insurance and General Workers Union, the Communication Workers Union. Yes, the motorcade that you are seeing passing this morning, this motorcade has been organized by the labor movement, and we are going to Port of Spain this morning. Yes, the time has come. The time has come for us to take a stand. The time has come for us to identify ourselves with the right struggle. The time has come for us to identify with the struggle of poor people. The Employers Consultative Association and the government, they have come together. Yes, they have come together to continue to exploit and oppress us. The government and the Employers Association have come together and they are using COVID-19 as an excuse to do workers in Trinidad and Tobago anything they want to do us. Well, we are saying we are not taking any more, and the fight back has just begun. And the motorcade that you're seeing this morning has been organized by the labor movement, the Joint Trade Union Movement, the Federation of Independent Trade Unions, and the National Trade Union Center. Yes, we have come together because we understand the need to come together. We have come together to organize ourselves into a fighting unit. Yes, to bring us success. You have to be concerned about what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago today. We are saying the time to join the labor movement is now. Yes, we have to fight. Brothers and sisters, residents of California, the motorcade that you are seeing this morning has been organized by the labor movement, and we are going to Port of Spain. You can join the motorcade. You can join the motorcade. It is in our interest. Yes, it is in the interest of poor people in Trinidad and Tobago to join in solidarity with the workers of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, we are the salt of Trinidad and Tobago. We are the producers of the wealth of Trinidad and Tobago. But the employers and the government are exploiting us. They are oppressing us. They are retrenching us. They want to sell out all of our resources. Yes, why do they want to sell our gas stations? Yes, an angry man shut down Petrochin. An angry man shut down Petrochin. A man who took on the rage of a bull and decided that he's shutting down Petrochin. So today, he is regretting that he made that stupid move, that backward move. Yes, we are saying the time has come to join with the labor movement in fighting against the oppression and exploitation that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago today. Residents of California, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, this is the voice of the labor movement. As we pass through the village of California, we want you to pay attention. We want you to become concerned about what is taking place in your country today. Yes, we have a battle against COVID-19, but the government and the Employers Consultative Association and the Banking Association, they have come together to continue to exploit us. They are retrenching us. They are sending us home. Yes, because they want to maximize their profits. They want to continue to make maximum profit. So they rather send us home, let our families suffer. Yes, we have to stop this. The only way for us to stop this exploitation is to unite to fight back against it. Yes, the only way to stop them is to unite to fight against the exploitation that they are perpetrating on us every day in Trinidad and Tobago. This is a motorcade that has been organized by the labor movement.
I could record this. Alright. Tell them to go on these, man.
Alright, Hollis.
Alright.
Hollis.
Hey, whoa, you're big in the dance. You gotta stick that. That's coming up. It go fly up. It go fly up just now.
Yeah, but yeah, where they going? Most people gone already?
Yeah. How's mom?
I'm good, honey.
Say something.
Son, so do the best you could, thank you.
What's that? Tell me when they're ready. No, but tell me. They're waiting for me, but I'm waiting for them. Oh, okay.
Okay, get in the motorcade, get in the motorcade.
Okay, Pastor. Yes, I. Hey! Farmers in trouble! Alright. Oi! I'm not saying him.
You ready?
No. Just want to get the people drink with the free water and all. I tried. I did try. Yeah. Right?
Eh? Labor movement. Motorcade.
Yeah. Ryan, you eating meat? Ryan, you eating meat? Alright. Yeah. Clifton. Ryan, come on in there.
I don't want to be scared.
comrade!
Timing good, boy. You laugh at me, man. Trouble now. Like he in charge, boy. And you see how it's muddy? Benin, oh God, it's Benin, it's Benin. I'm not telling you it's Benin. If I let go, it's going right back down.
Let it go. Right there, turn it. You see as you up there? Put your hand up there and try to turn it forward. Right.
Oh God, it breaks now.
Right, drop it down inside of here. Break it
no,
off,
it
please.
breaks. Break it off completely?
Yeah, break it off. And then you have to start from zero to go back to 100. Drop them down inside.
Benny! Let me turn around. Pull up, pull up, pull up. You looking for record or what? Why truly below? The law and studies. Rain coming out.
To protect our rights, we have an obligation to protect the interests of black people in Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 has allowed us to see the poverty that exists in Trinidad and Tobago. Now we know who cannot afford cable and who could. We know who can afford internet and who cannot. We know how many children cannot be underfed in Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 has exposed the injustices in Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 has exposed the poverty that exists in our country today. Our country today has descended into a barbaric state. Yes, it is in a barbaric state. We rest our cause on the power of truth. And we're telling you, they cannot deny what we are saying. Yes, they cannot deny. Today, our elders, our mothers and our fathers, our grandmothers and our grandfathers, the elders in our society, yes, those elders in our society who have given the best part of their lives to the development of Trinidad and Tobago. Today, our elders, our grandparents cannot walk the streets of Trinidad and Tobago as free men and women. They are afraid to walk our one and the same. Yes, it is about time that Trinidad and Tobago, poor people in Trinidad and Tobago, make up their mind to fight because the labor movement, this motorcade that is still here today, is a signal. We put in Trinidad and Tobago on notice. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, we putting you on notice that the labor movement is going to fight. We're going to fight PNM, we're going to fight the UNC, we're going to fight in our interest, we're going to fight to defend the rights of poor people in Trinidad and Tobago. They're using COVID-19 as an excuse to send us home. They don't care. They don't care if you could repay your loan. They don't care if you have a roof over your house. They don't care. They do not care if you could pay on your car. They don't care. The Employers Consultative Association and the government, they have partnered to come to tackle the exploitation and oppression of poor people in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes. But it must come. Yeah. As Black Stalin, our famed Calypsonian said, when the money come, when the money go, and poor people pay on the pavement that they get through. COVID-19 has allowed us to see the poverty that existed in our country. We do not know all who could afford cable and who could afford internet. We don't know who cannot afford cable and cannot afford internet. We don't know all these poor people children, all the poor people children in this country who cannot be educated right now because they don't have cable, they don't have internet. COVID-19, yes, COVID-19 has exposed the poverty that exists in our country today, and it is the PNM and the UNC that has taken our country down this road of barbarism. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago have descended into a more barbaric state. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago has descended into a more barbaric state that our parents, our grandparents are afraid to walk the streets of this country after they have given, yes, after our elders have given the best part of their lives to the development of this country. Today, they are afraid to walk the streets of our country as free men and women. The PNM and the UNC are responsible for this. This is a crime. We are going to fight, and the labor movement is putting Trinidad and Tobago on notice. We are warning you. We are warning you. We are telling you. Yes, the labor movement is sending a signal to you. We're not taking any more. We're not taking any more of this shit that passing as good governance in Trinidad and Tobago. An angry man, a man gets sick and shut down the refinery. And Trinidadian sit back and smile. Trinidadian, a man putting on your eye and you're hoping that you're loving. You're loving because he's feeling or he is.
Look at Homo.
Time to take your mentality, Trinidadian. We need a great mentality in Trinidad and Tobago. We are saying,
you don't know them, eh?
we have that status mentality. Stop only singing this song. Stand up your house and see this mentality. Remember what comes down with it? Look how much of our children, look how many of our children don't have access to internet and cable to learn. Yeah, COVID-19 exposed the poverty in Trinidad and Tobago. And the Lord, yes, poor people, COVID-19 allowed everybody around the world to see the poverty that existed in Trinidad and Tobago. Look how many of our children cannot access the internet. The parents can't afford it, so they started for education right now. The PNM and the UNC responsible for what Trinidad and Tobago is. The government went to look to retirement stage. So what is the message they send to young people? Where are they going to get employment? What will they be employed? This is not just going on in Trinidad and Tobago.
fastest in E. Go past them. Go near to the microphone so I can pick up the audio.
People remain on the pavement and the ghetto. Up that story. Time for we to start to fight on our own behalf and stop fighting on behalf of the elite.
Right behind him.
Yeah.
We want to be close to the speaker. Either in front of him or behind him, preferably behind the speaker. I want to go live on the book, on the phone. Put it on Facebook for me.
In whose interest is it to sell cement factory? In whose interest is it to privatize the anthem? In whose interest is it to damage Wassa? In whose interest was it to shut down the refinery? And then now you're complaining about the shortage of foreign exchange. This is madness taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. And you sitting around here like a knob on the wall, saying I'm going to love these people no matter what they do me. No matter what they do me, I still love them. Yeah, they could check out my eye. They could send all my parents from the work. But I still love them because that is my party. That is my party. So they could do me anything they want. The attack, they're coming for you. They're coming for the attack workers. They're coming for you. They're coming for Wassa workers. Everywhere you turn, the employers and the government, they get together and they're using COVID-19. Yes, they're using COVID-19 as an excuse to send you home from your work or pay you smaller money. Yeah, they want to pay you small money on your work because they're telling you They could get somebody else to do it cheaper. They don't care. They don't care if you could pay your car loan, you know. They don't care if you could put food on the table, you know. They don't care about that. But you sitting around like a knob on the wall and so not going to love these people. But you want to fight with your little brother on the block. Time to change this mentality, Trinidadians. Yeah, Trinidadians and Tobagonians. Time to change the mentality. You can't love people who taking away your work from you. You can't love people who sell out all your gas stations. Trinidadians and Tobagonians, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up in Trinidad and Tobago. We sending a message. We sending a message that we're not taking the exploitation anymore. We're going to fight, and we're going to fight with all our might. And we're going to fight to win. The motorcade you see passing here, this motorcade, putting Trinidad and Tobago on notice. Yes, we putting all on notice. We want to put Trinidad and Tobago on notice that the labor movement will not roll over. We're going to fight, COVID or no COVID, we're going to fight. Because the government using COVID as an excuse to do all what they wanted to do before COVID came. Yeah, so we're going to fight. We have to fight them. We have to fight. We have to fight the government and we have to fight the opposition. Because the president is the same damn thing.
There you go. I have it now.
Yes, yes. The motorcade that is passing, this motorcade has been organized by the labor movement. We want to send a message. We want to beseech you. We want to urge you Trinidadians and Tobagonians. We want to let you know that the labor movement has united. And we have united because we have to. We have to fight against the oppression and the exploitation that is taking place in our country today. You will agree with us. We will agree with us. COVID-19 has exposed the poverty that exists in Trinidad and Tobago. COVID-19 bring it out in the open. Yes, COVID-19 exposed the poverty. See how many poor people children have internet and cable. See how much poor people children have internet and cable. COVID-19 allow we to know that. Yeah, COVID-19, this is what we have been telling you over the years. They are not doing anything. The PNM and the UNC have not been doing anything in our interest. In whose interest was it to shut down the refinery? Yeah? In whose interest was it to hand over a cement factory? In whose interest? This is the question that Trinidadians and Tobagonians must ask. This is the question that we want you to ask yourself, Trinidadians and Tobagonians. Yes, residents in Trinidad. In whose interest was it to hand over cement factory? Today, just as we told you, today cement factory workers are being sent to mothers and fathers. In whose interest was it to shut down the refinery? A man gets vexed and shut down the refinery. Yeah? And Trinidadian rock back and we take that. Because that man belonged to my party. So he could do anything in Trinidad and Tobago and we taking that. Yeah. Well, the labor movement not taking that. The labor movement going to fight. And we're going to fight with all our might. We're going to fight against this oppression. We're going to fight against the mass exploitation that is taking place. The mass retrenchment in our plain country. We're going to fight. You're going to fight with all our might. And this motorcade is a signal. This motorcade is a signal. It's a message that we're sending to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. We put in Trinidad and Tobago on notice that the labor movement is united and gearing up for battle. We are going to fight. We're not taking that so. We're not taking any more. We have had enough. In whose interest is it to sell our gas stations? In whose interest was it to hand over our cement factory? In whose interest is it to privatize the port of Port of Spain? When you join in solidarity with this motorcade, you join in solidarity with the cement and waterfront workers trade union. Yes, in whose interest was it to shut down Petrochain, the refinery? Now you're seeing trouble. You cannot get any foreign exchange. You have a foreign exchange problem because of the nonsense that Trinidadians allow a madman, an angry man to do. Yeah, we just keep sitting back like a nod on the wall and saying, it's my party, it's my party, it's my party. It's your life. It is our country. It is the place where our children and our grandchildren must go. It is the place where we reside. Trinidadians, pay attention. Pay attention to what is taking place in your country. Pay attention to what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. This is the labor movement on the go. And we put in you on notice, We put in Trinidadians on notice. We want you to know what we are going to do. You all have seen what the government and the opposition had for us. Well, now you're going to know what the labor movement is doing, because we're going to fight. We're not going to roll over. We're going to fight, and we're going to fight to win. It don't have anything. There is not going to be anything like retreating. There's not going to be any retreat and no surrender. Yeah, comrades. Yeah. They're coming for the anthem too, They're coming for the anthem. Yeah, just as they're going for Wassa, they're coming for the anthem too. Just what they do with Petrochain, they're coming for all you too. Yeah. Pleasant day, Trinidadians. Pleasant day. The labor movement passing through. The labor movement passing through. We want to put every Trinidadian and Tobagonian on notice. Yeah. We want you to know. We want you to know that we intend to fight. We're going to fight against injustice. We are going to fight against the oppression and exploitation of poor people in our country today by the elites, the Employers Association, and this government and the opposition. We are going to fight them, and we're going to fight to win. And we are appealing to you. We are appealing to you, Trinidadians, as intelligent and literate people. We are appealing to you to stand under the banner of the labor movement. Stand under the banner of the labor movement. It is your banner. It is where you should be.